What's this? Two vlogs in one day? Shocking but true! And this time we're going to take a look at A Simple Favor. This is the latest movie from director Paul Feig, and shockingly does not star Melissa McCarthy, but it does star Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. Kendrick plays Stephanie Smothers, who is the goody-goody single mom that is perhaps too good for her own good, if that makes sense. And through a strange turn of events, she somehow becomes best friends with Lively's character, Emily Nelson, the queen of the sociopaths. One day, Stephanie gets a call from Emily asking if she can pick her son up from school because she's held up somewhere, and of course Stephanie says, "Sure, bestie, no problem." But then, Emily doesn't come home, which leads Stephanie to investigate just what the hell happened to her. And then I would suggest this movie goes off the rails, but that would imply it was on rails to begin with. So I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this one, really, because I liked parts of it, and other parts, eh. The story is pretty good overall, although it can be a bit predictable at times. I saw the twist involving Lively's character coming a mile away. The two main characters are completely ridiculous, in mostly good ways. In fact, most of the characters in this movie are not real people at all. They're caricatures, which is not necessarily a bad thing when you're doing a comedy. What? A comedy that's ridiculous? Whoa, the devil you say! But there are moments where they push that ridiculous factor a little too far. There's one moment in particular that sticks out, where Emily marries her boyfriend Sean, played by Henry Golding, and they basically elope, and while they're on the plane ride back after visiting Sean's parents, Emily informs Sean, "Hey, I stole your mother's ring." And he totally lets her get away with it. And his reasons for doing so are completely stupid. I was not buying it at all, and it honestly really took me out of the movie. As far as the comedy is concerned, I would say most of the jokes worked, some better than others. There are a few moments, however, where Feig seems to be trying more to gross the audience out rather than tell actual jokes, which is a trap he can fall into now and then. Without giving too much away, there is a rather dark and twisted moment in Stephanie's otherwise rather conservative and, I guess one might say, prudish life. And it seemed like they were trying to make that funny, and I'm not entirely sure they succeeded, especially considering what this moment ultimately leads to. And I think my big problem with these characters, well, really I have two problems with the characters. One, pretty much every major character in this movie is a horrible, horrible person. They're just varying levels of horrible, so there's really no one to root for. And with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively, I've basically seen these characters before in The Heat. Feig is basically doing the same thing with Kendrick and Lively that he did with Bullock and McCarthy. It's the wild child teaching the prude how to loosen up a bit. The only difference is those characters have been pushed closer to their respective ends of the spectrum. And to their credit, Lively and Kendrick do play these characters very well. They are super talented, but I wasn't really in a hurry to see another version of characters I've already seen before, especially since I wasn't really all that crazy about The Heat to begin with. Although, the tracheotomy scene, that alone made it worth the price of admission. I will give it that. So, I guess A Simple Favor was okay. There is some good stuff happening here, but it just left something to be desired. It might be worth a matinee, but personally I wouldn't pay full price for it. And that's all I got to say about A Simple Favor. Till next time, take care.